That I don't want to hear.
Yeah, Lucas as a writer found some success.
Lucas released his first novel, An Unkindness of Ravens. It wasn't a New York bestseller, but when he said, you know, this guy has a fresh voice, it's very different. And so now he's at a point in his life where he's got writer's block. And he's trying to get over the hump and find his own truth and find his voice. You ever wonder if we chose the right paths?
Sometimes. But I have all these wonderful things in my life. Things I wouldn't have had otherwise.
Brooke is doing a lot. She is this, multi-million-dollar company owner running her fashion line and a magazine and accessories, and she has become a pseudo-celebrity in her own right, getting stalked by paparazzi and going to glitzy events.
Clothes Over Bros is my dream come true. This is what I wished for.
She has sort of ascended to everything that she ever thought she wanted and more.
We're able to play a couple storylines where is success, is that everything in life? Is money everything in life?
I think it's easy for people to assume that fame is equal to glory, but it can be a very isolating experience, and I'm enjoying exploring that.
Wine delivery from New York City.
Wow, I called for that wine 2 years ago. Get in here. Hi.
Oh.
Come on. Mouth has had an interesting path. He went to college, and he followed his passion for broadcasting, and it's led him back to Tree Hill. And I think his dream job is to be an on-air reporter, sports reporter, and which is awesome. However, as real life often works out, you come to find out it's not as easy as just showing up at a station and boom, you have a job.
I'm sorry, but you are still looking for a reporter, aren't you?
In answer to your question, yes. Let us be honest. You don't really have the face for it, do you?
He comes up against this idea that, to be an on-camera person, if you don't have model looks necessarily, it may be difficult to convince, those people up top that you belong there and that you can really do it.
What I always liked about the journey of Mouth is it typically wasn't as accelerated as the other characters in high school. And so jumping ahead 4 years, did he go further than everyone? Or is he still chasing his dreams in a very authentic sort of 22-year-old way?
I'm Marvin McFadden,
Pass it. My guy's not passing the ball.
Yeah, he is. He's passing it to my guy.
Hey,
I also love the idea of just putting Mouth and Skills and the River Court guys in a big college-y apartment,
He and Skills basically have this amazing apartment, and I have to say, it's the most amazing post-college apartment I've ever seen. It's so big and awesome. I don't know how they get the rent together every week.
There's a lot of loitering on the part of myself and Fergie. We crash there, we eat their food, we drink their beer, we play their video games. I'm sure we make messes and don't clean them up.
It's cool. It's the boys, they're playing video games and they're watching basketball and they're babysitting actually. That's new this year.
My name is Jackson and I play James.
Jackson. He's more talented than me.
He's a great spark plug for this series, and he basically becomes a great friend of Skills, which is amazing.
Well, sometimes I hang out with Antoine who plays Skills. Do we have a job?
What are you, the man? I don't see you paying any rent.
That's because I don't have any money.
Big Game James, that's what I call him. That's my boy. I'm his chocolate uncle, and we keep it popping. Working with Jackson, man, is, I think the kid is gonna be the next big thing.
When Jackson joined the cast, he's a little boy, so we had to sort of clean up the neighborhood a little bit, and we started this swear jar. And anyone who uses profanity on set has to put $20 in the jar, and it goes to Jackson.
I don't cuss in front of the kid. I don't do it. I'm a bad cusser, not in front of the kid.
Jackson's making some bank off the profanity of One Tree Hill.
Dude, he's awesome. He knows his lines better than I do, and he knows my lines too, so he's kind of raising everybody's game. It's kind of intimidating, to be honest.
It's awesome. It is awesome. I've never worked with a kid before, and I feel like we got really lucky with Jackson because he's such a great kid and he's got so much energy.
Almost, guys. I'm so sorry.
He is the cutest little man. You ever had a wine hangover?
I have a fluffy-eared bunny named Chester. It's actually a girl. Its real name is Cupcake, but in the show it's Chester.
And everything that comes out of his mouth, I mean, you just want to like kiss his little forehead and high-five him and hang out with him. I never want him to go home.
Well, my day is like hang out with the cats, have a lot of fun, eat some candy. Yeah. Well, I like Rock Band. Why? Because it's fun. In one scene, I had to wear footy pajamas. Made me look weird.
Because he's so smart, he won't just do it just because you tell him to. He's like, I don't understand why, you know? So you get to sit and you say, here's why, because this is the story you're telling. And this is how you want to make people at home feel. And the light goes on. He's like, oh, I get it, you know? And he's 6.
I think Nathan is starting to realize that he's got to become a father. He's got to become a role model now. And that's really his like evolution. Instead of just being this kid that has a baby, now he's got to become a father.
Where did he get the hoop?
His Uncle Lucas gave it to him.
I don't want him playing.
Nathan, he's 4 years old. All he wants to do is be like his dad. Why don't you go out there and show him?
I said I don't want him playing.
When we pick up with Nathan, you know, he's got a family, obviously. He's still married to Haley, and he's, you know, his son is 4 years old.
One of the reasons I was really excited about this year was because I really got to explore a different emotional level of Haley.
Are you gonna say anything, or are you just gonna sit there like you have for the last 4 months?
They've got their problems like any other family does, and they've got their challenges and their issues, and, you know, Nathan has got a lot of challenges to face.
I always felt that, you know, the stability of the show is dependent on the intense love they have for each other, and the fact that it's always tested and always tested and always tested.
Nathan is dealing with his father being in prison and not having his father in his life. And Nathan is a guy who, as much as he hates his father, it's still his father. And there's something that just always pulls him back.
And I was flattered that they wanted to bring this character back, because I know that the weight that Dan brings into a scene and the power that he has over these other characters is so strong that you would have to kill him to get rid of him.
I've been sitting at home for 4 months blaming you, and now I'm done.
And I think he deep down wants so badly for Dan to be a good man. But I think he knows that it's not going to happen and that time has passed. But, you know, he still goes to visit Dan in prison, which nobody else has done.
Tell me about the accident.
When we come back for the 5th season, Nathan's actually been through a lot in the past, 4 years of his life. He's actually had a lot of opportunities. He's built, a pretty good foundation for himself, and it all kind of goes out the window, literally.
Hey, man, I never touched you. And if I'd have hit you, you'd be out cold right now.
Too late, Seattle boy. You should have left with that fat-ass wife of yours.
Ready, 3, 2, 1, go.
He ends up making a huge mistake that pretty much, to him, ruins his life and sort of changes the course of his life. And so when we come back, Nathan is sort of a fractured version of what he used to be.
As far as Haley's transition, I mean, it seems like an easy one to me for her, because she was a tutor, you know.
All right, good morning. This is actually my first official day as a teacher, and you're my first official class, so congratulations.
I did a lot of research over the summer when I found out I was going to be a teacher, and so I got to sort of experience and just go talk to different teachers and find out what it's like, and, you know, the nerves and, you know, the experience of having the whole class, just the way teachers kind of feel like they're removed from the student body, like students look at them like they're not real people, you know?
I think the fans felt that Haley as a teacher wasn't as exciting or sexy maybe as the other girls. We could have chosen, and I could have chosen, to explore her music career. But I just felt like because we'd skipped 4 years, those were the formative years for Jamie. I felt like Haley wouldn't choose a career that would have taken her away from her son or taken her son on the road like that.
It's a really great story, the way that they sort of stick together, and in the way that, you know, Haley and Nathan really become stronger through, you know, Jamie, their son.
Are you afraid, Daddy?
Sometimes. You?
Sometimes.
Then we'll do this together.
Nathan and Haley have to hire a nanny because Nathan is, you know, recovering from rehab.